Let's do the mid-year book freakout tag. Hey guys, welcome to Portable Magic. I am Trinity, and this is where all booktubers start to reflect on the first half of their year. And so we all do this freakout tag because it's an easy way to evaluate what we've read so far, what we're looking forward to, and I just want to be part of the discussion. Just kidding. So I have my computer here. I am going to be reading the questions off of my computer. So this is going to be kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants answering the questions, but I have a good idea about what I'm going to choose simply because I know the questions. I've done this a couple of times already, and then we'll just kind of chat about what I've chosen. Question number 1, best book you've read so far in 2024. See, now here's where we go. I don't know what I read this year. What did I read this year? As I look back and then have to smack myself in the head for not immediately thinking of this book, it's sitting right here. I'll grab it. Hold on. Like, I see it behind me in every video. That would be Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff. This is the sequel to Empire of the Vampire, and this is so good. It's so dark. It's everything you expect vampires to be, and a little more. This is an epic fantasy. They are chonky, set around vampires. And Jay Kristoff's writing is a little flowery, a little macabre, so he's not for everyone. I totally get that, but for me, absolute perfection. So this series has bumped up my top 100 quite a bit after reading Empire of the Damned. And what else do you say about it? It's stunning. I do buy the UK editions because I don't like people on the covers of my books, but so good, so good. And I think the one thing that I could say about this to entice people to read them would be they read real fast, And we have illustrations in the book as well. Now that I say that, I'm not going to find one. Like so. But yes, they're so good. If you like vampires, if you like epic fantasy, if you like grimdark, this is definitely something you should be picking up. Okay, and then the second question, I should have read ahead just a little bit. The best sequel you've read so far this year. Yeah, that would also be Empire of the Damned. Let's see if I can come up with another. Oh, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to this one. I loved Butcher and Blackbird. And then I read Leather and Lark. And while I can't say I liked it as much as Butcher and Blackbird, there's not a whole lot I like as much as Butcher and Blackbird, on the romance front at least. And so Leather and Lark was so cute. I love these pairings so much. And it's really odd to be like, oh, these serial killers are so cute, but they are. They're adorable. Are the books gory? Yeah, they are. They're about serial killers. Do they get gross sometimes? Yeah, they're about serial killers. I don't know what to say. They have a lot of dark humor. They have really good romances at the forefront of them. And I will say that the romances are cute. They are very cute. All right, so the next one is a new release you haven't read yet, but want to. Let me grab it. So I walked over there to pick up the one that was on my mind and realized there were 3 sitting over there that actually fit the bill for this. That would be The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, The Redemption of Morgan Bright by Chris Panettiere, and Evocation by S.T. Gibson. Now, you might notice a trend here in that all 3 of these have a little bit of a gothic feel to them. I am feeling a little bit of fantasy burnout, just a hair, and I have not been buying fantasy. So what I have as far as new releases aren't fantasy. I do have a few that I still want to get to. Feather So Black, that could also be added to the list. I'm actually looking at it. I was supposed to read it this month and still might. But those 3 have been eyeballing me from my TBR shelf for quite some time. I'm probably going to add these to next month's TBR because they're calling. They're calling. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. A Tide of Black Steel. That took me a very long time to find. I don't know why. But yes, any Anthony Ryan book release is going to make my most anticipated releases of any given year because he is, of course, my favorite author, if you cannot tell. Biggest disappointment, oh, by far, has to be Five Broken Blades. Oh, when I heard five assassins going after the king, let the best man win, I was so excited. I was so excited. And I just finished this book, and I have to say, what the hell, marketing? What were you trying to do, trying to pull this one over our heads? Like, just feed it in the romantasy, like that, because that's what this is, and it's not even a good one. But there are three romances that this follows, and that's all you need to know, because that's all this book is. Do they succeed in taking the crown? I'll let you read it and find out. But I why? Why was this pitched as five assassins going after the crown and not three people learning to love, learning to survive, learning to trust, meeting their match along the way? And hey, while we're at it, we're gonna go steal the crown from the king. Biggest surprise, I actually have to go with one that I've recently read, and that was The Honey Witch. So I'm sorry if you guys are seeing my last week's weekly wrap up and this one like back to back, because yes, I just talked about these two. But I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed this. This was really cute. And I can't say I loved it because there were slow parts, but I really liked it. And I really like witches. So this kind of fed into my, I think, witchy and fae. You can pull off cozy with witchy and fae, because I do also love Emily Wilde, and I really liked this one. Now, I would be willing to read something else by Sydney J. Shields, because this one was actually enjoyable. I really like the writing style too. So definitely not upset to have this from Fairy Loot, because I got to try it and I enjoyed it. Okay, this one is always hard for me, and it is favorite new author. Oh, not so hard. Now, I don't, I had to reach down here to my shelf that's beside me. That would be Carrie Maniscalco. Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed. Oh, wait, that's Kingdom of the Feared. They're backwards because I have them like first, second, third in my shelf. Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Cursed, Kingdom of the Feared. I really, really loved this series. And my friend Izzy kindly picked me up Throne of the Fallen. So I will probably be reading that very soon. I loved this series. I binged this series. It's the first time I've binged a series in quite some time. And for Kingdom of the Wicked, we have a girl whose sister dies, and she goes on the hunt for her killer, only to get caught up in the world of the demons, I guess is what you can call them, the gods of hell. And she meets Wrath, accidentally binds Wrath to her, and that's where the series starts off. And then we have the follow-up books to what happened after Kingdom of the Wicked, because I don't want to spoil anything. I feel like a lot of people, if you were interested in this, have read it though. But yeah, I read that this year, and I love Carrie Maniscalco. I'll probably be buying her YA series too, her Stalking Jack the Ripper, kind of go back and see what she did with YA. But this one, very, very tasty. Newest fictional crush. I don't know. Possibly Wilder Hawthorne from Blood and Steel, Legends of Thesmar series. I really like him, and I like the mentor-mentee relationship that's in Blood and Steel, because it's not like she entered this school and he was her teacher and things like that. It's circumstances made them mentor-mentee, and I think he's adorable. I really like that he's willing to give second chances. He's willing to look past people's faults a lot. I really adore him. I'm actually really excited to continue this series, so it might be one that I pick up soon, the second book to Blood and Steel. But if I had to pick, probably Wilder Hawthorne. Newest favorite character. Oh, I am horrible with names, but Althea, I think is her name, from When the Moon Hatched. Probably going to be her. Let me look it up so I'm not lying to you guys. No, see, I knew I was gonna get them mixed up. I always get characters' names mixed up in my head, and I can never remember them. I can never remember characters' names to save my life. I remember the character in that book, the main female character in that book. Anyway, Rave. Yes, from When the Moon Hatched. That's probably gonna be my new favorite character for this year so far. She's kind of a badass, and really enjoyed her characterization throughout all of When the Moon Hatched. I liked her character growth. I liked watching her make decisions, and I liked that when she was shown some truths, she didn't take them at face value. She kind of did her own exploration of what those truths might mean to her, and really enjoyed her a lot. A book that made me cry, we're gonna have to look, because I don't cry in books, man. I mean, Empire of the Damned kind of got close there. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror got close. Yeah, I mean, Empire of the Damned is probably the one that got closest to making me tear up, but I'm not really seeing anything else that made me cry, but I don't gravitate towards books that make me cry. And I'm just a little heartless, I guess. I don't really cry in books. Book that made me happy. Okay, so I have to give it to one particular book because I love the original of this book, and I actually can't believe it was just this year that I read this book. My beautiful copy of it is in the other room, so I will just post an image of it. The Hurricane Wars made me very happy. And why is that? It's the fan fiction that was my comfort fic for a really long time. Seeing it in book form always, it's just making me all kinds of giddy, and I'm very excited to read the next one. Do I know the story? Of course I do. I've read the whole thing when it was a fan fiction. So I love it. It makes me happy. I understand why other people don't like it, and I understand it's not the best literary work ever or of this year, or, you know, whatever. I enjoy it, and that's all that really matters. This says, favorite book to film adaptation you've seen so far this year. I haven't watched any. Most beautiful book that I've bought so far this year, I'm gonna have to give it to Fairy Loot. I am absolutely in love with this edition of A Feather So Black. Like, stunning, just stunning, and again, stunning, and then the reverse dress jacket, again, stunning. So, like, yes, this is definitely the most beautiful book that I have purchased this year, and it is not one that I sought out. It is one that, you know, I got sent from Fairy Loot, but I just think they killed it with this cover. I think that the art is beautiful, the edges themselves are beautiful, and yeah, I love it. What books do I need to read before the end of the year? Oh my gosh, did we miss the fact that I have 350 unread books on my shelves? Yeah, that's a thing. So, this might not have gone live for you guys, but my Patreons, we counted them all up, and there's like 350 some books that I have not read. They're in my TBR jar. So, and then there were 170 something audiobooks that I own that I haven't read yet. And I'm like, okay, some of those are like duplicates though, because I bought the audio and the physical. I do that sometimes when I know I'm gonna want to immersive read, but just pick from them. I need to read so many of the physical books on my shelf, it's not even funny. And I keep buying books. It's a problem. It's a problem. Last question is favorite manga. Not read any manga this year except for Saga. It is really the only ongoing graphic novel series that I have right now, and I realize I shouldn't flip through this to where you guys can see it on camera, but yeah, this is all I have been reading. I do have Monstrous, so I will probably pick that up again, but as it stands right now, that's all the graphic novel, manga, whatever I'm reading. That's it for today. If you want to join my Patreon, we would love to have you. Come check out our buddy reads. We have a cool new thing coming up in the next month. If you want to check it out, we will be doing a book swap where we annotate the books and then send them on to the next person. And we are going to be starting with King of Wrath. So we are going to be annotating and sending along that book. I'm going to start it obviously with a book that I owned and then go from there. And like, subscribe, do all the fun things. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!